Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So I received a message asking me to share on the Wing Chun version 1960s, the evolutions in the past 140 years of Wing Chun, which I name it as the Wing Chun 1960 version. So I'm going to share with you, and also this friend asking me, why do I like to play this song? This song in my previous videos. So I'm going to share with you. And one thing is that sharing what is the reality doesn't have to be harsh. Doesn't have to be fighting. You know, we human, we have our sentimental part or sentiment part, not just logic, right? So human have the quality of like to serve, like to find out the truth, like to work with others to achieve something good. And human have kindness, compassionate, and empathy. So human is not always is I'm the king, I'm number one, I'm the best, I'm the most authentic, I'm the original, I'm the know-it-all. Humans are complex, but human is much more than materialistics, that I want this, I want that, I want to be number one, I want to be this and be that. This song, it is the title In This Life. It actually remind me the Wing Chun evolutions or the Wing Chun history for past 160 years. Not just the technical, but the people, okay? Every generations, how things change, every generations, like the ancestor in the red boat, how they fought against the Qing, and then how things evolve. So this is the song it actually so this song actually give me the feeling, because I'm a human, right? The feeling of all these evolutions of Wing Chuns and what Wing Chun, the martial art, go through, and all what everybody go through in the past 160 years is not simple. It's not easy. It's not straightforward, like really mechanical or logical. It is not. There are many, many things happen in past 160 years. So a song is better than 10 gigabyte to tell the story of what happened from 160 years ago down to today. That's why I like this song. Chinese martial art history is very difficult to get into because that is many things that due to the culture, due to the people's personal benefit, and so forth, so forth. I want to introduce you to Tang Hao. Tang Hao is one of the great Chinese martial art historian in the 1900s, early mid-1900s. He passed away, I believe that, if I'm not wrong, the year I was born, 1959. He have done a lot of things which is research into to find out what is happening with the traditional Chinese martial arts. And without him, we will not know that the Shaolin Sword Strike Classic is actually matching with the Songsan Shaolin. And of course, at his time, people don't like him. Many is against him. Many want him to shut up. Of course, when you tell the truth, you show the evidence, it gets to many people's benefit. So this is a great person. And in every generations, you always have people like this. And it is only people like this which is making life different. At that time, many people for sure were resisting it. But then if you don't base things on the truth, the reality, then there will no progress. There will no improvement, and you will not be able to preserve the ancient culture, and you will not be able to proceed further, and the entire style of the martial art or the system will break down, collapse, and vanish. So that's why I like the song, because it really give me that feeling, okay, which you cannot describe with a single sentence. If you like it, go check it out. And there is English subtitle if you do not know the Chinese. If you know the Chinese, then it even mean more, because translation usually it is not that complete. So let's get into the version 1960 of Wing Chun. The version 1960 of Wing Chun. Now, the first thing we need to know today, for really sure, extremely solid, because we base on Tang Hao and many things, many data of the Chinese martial arts. It is really solid. Qi Ji Guang, Shaolin Sword Strike, Wing Chun, 1850. The link is there, solid. The bond is there, solid. And it is very solid technically. You know what it is. However, of course, many, when they heard this, they will be in shock because suddenly the story they learn, maybe even a lifetime thing they invest in, you know, the story of Mui, the story of Jisim, depend on which you want to believe, and the story of the lineage of the grandmaster and so forth, so forth. Now is many doesn't hold. So of course it is shock. Can I understand that? Sure. We're just human, right? But technical reality is technical reality. It's like the Chinese, they believe a moon god, moon, in the moon, there's a god. There is the autumn festival. Well, the American Apollo 11 have landed in the moon, right? That's the truth. But nobody said that one cannot still, like the Chinese, celebrate the moon festival, the moon cake festival, you know, having this belief on this moon God does there. Nobody stopped one from that. The Chinese, like today, you see that, sure, they have rockets, they're going to go to the moon and so forth. However, you know, the ancient belief and so forth, it still can be there as a part of life. Who say that life always has to be logic? But then one need to know that those are the ancestors' legends. And the ancestor might not understand what is the reality. And now we understand what is reality. We go to the moon. So you can appreciate the ancient legend, and in the same time, one accept and be able to work with the reality and progress. There's no contradiction there. It's not like, because I found out that it is General Qi Ji Guang, Shaolin Sword Strike, and Wing Chun 1850, then Hendrik Santo is the god of the entire thing. I have the say. Everybody lost. Or your grandmaster is wrong. It's not about that. So the analogy is like Apollo 11. The American landed in the moon. Well, that is the scientific reality. But that do not prohibit people to still have that mooncake festival. And even scientists can participate in the mooncake festival, right? So human is this complex. Human is not A or B. Human can be A and B. Okay? Don't go to extreme. And the reason I share that, like in my books, all those things, in the Wing Chun what is that? Restricting Wing Chun book, is because we need the technology. We need to know the technology. That might be reason why the ancestors do not reveal that publicly. And that might be due to it's not revealed in the ancient time, then the generation after it don't know. In the ancient, you don't ask your sifu, is that true? You don't question your sifu, you just take it. So that's the environment they live there at that time. So again, back to the song I share with you in front at the beginning. Human is complex, and most people are good people. Most people do not want to screw other people. Most people want to stay solid, stay proper, stay honest. But then they might not have the data, even though they try their best. So we need to know one thing, right? Study the truth of evolutions, like study how to go to the moon, how to build the rockets, and how to be able to land in the moon and even maybe, migrate to the moon. But do not discount those who contribute in the past 160 years. Disregard if they are right or wrong. The positive contributions of them must be respected. Because if they don't contribute, we will not be able to share here, to chat here on Wing Chun, right? Even you say that they are wrong for past 160, past 140 years, but they hang on it. They hang on it. If they don't hang on it today, we don't hear the name Wing Chun. So who the world we are to discount their contributions, right? So we need to respect and value other people's contributions, even they don't know much, or even they sidetrack and so forth. The human contribution is human contributions. That has to be made really clear. So there's no I am the number one, I know it all, your lineage is bad, your grandmaster is bad. No, those kind of stuff. You have a human, is the human side, that you need to understand people. And then there is the technical side that one need to get it clear. It is no contradiction there. One not just by one to making clear thing in contract in the technical that attack or discount the people who contribute. That has to be really clear. Split it up, okay? Human is human. They can be wrong, but they do the positive contribution. You still have to acknowledge that, have to respect that, and have to value that. But then we have to acknowledge that okay, technically this is problem, so we need to change it. So that is how it has to be. Well, technical truth is simple. Well, Qi Ji Guang, Shaolin Sword Strike, 1850s Wing Chun, per riding, we know it. But life is complex. We don't know what people go through in past 160 years. At the uprising in the Red Boat, the loss of the uprising, many ancestors get killed, and then many depression there, okay? And then we get into the past 140 years, like the start from 1880. So the uprising in 1840s, 1850s, and they lost. The Fine Jade Opera Association gets shut down. No Chinese opera at that time for, say, about more than a decade. And then start 1880s, around that time, that start the Chinese opera, the Red Boat, which is not the anti-Qing Red Boat anymore. And of course, at that time, 1880, you have all kinds of story, which is now you heard about this Wing Chun, Liang Zhan, Feng Xiu Cheng, blah, 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 which is now, I went to Fat San 2017, and I checked with the researcher there, and the researcher told me, Hendrik, some of these people where they cite is not exist. Okay. And Liang Zhan have a will. So I let him publish that thing. So we know what it is. But again, we don't put down other people. We know what is going on there. So in 1880s, you have all kinds of stories. However, we know what exists in 1880s because they are writing there. They are writing there, which I happen to have studied it. So I know what is in the content. Okay, so by evidence. Now by 1880, disregard of this Liang Zhan, this Feng Xiu Cheng, and all this Tai Fa, Mingam, and all this legend. From the writing, we know at that time, Wing Chun 1850s have lost, the content have lost very big time. So you can see bit and piece here and there. Particularly three things, three really important elements of the Wing Chun, which is inherit from the Shaolin Sword Strike and inherit from the General Qi Ji Guang, has been lost in 1880 by because we know there's a writing exists, we read that writing and we know what is going on. Okay. Now, when I was in Fat San, the historian also told me that at the uprising time of the Red Boat, the anti-Qing, guess what? There are cases that people just join the uprising and they get like 2 days of training and they were sent out to fight the battle and so forth. Train for 2 days and sent out to fight. Okay. So not everybody today, we thought that they are the grandmaster and so forth have their full training. So many things today, we thought about Wing Chun. We need to very carefully study what is going on. Okay. It's historic fact, nobody can change it. But then again, we don't discount on the contributions of people if they do not carry the flag and continues on based on whatever they have, whatever little thing they have on Wing Chun, we will not be able to chat today on Wing Chun, right? So that's the human part we need to know. And just because we found out what is the truth technically, doesn't mean that we badmouth or put down whoever don't know it. We don't. It must not. So, '80s, you have all kind of stories and all those kind of things. We have writing, so we can pinpoint what is it, because at that time, 3 things have lost. Now, that loss of the 3 things, those people at that time know? Sure. Somebody in Fat San, and sure, it's not only one person. I don't want to name here. They know something is not match up. So around 1915, the Wing Chun platform of 1960s version was created in Fat San around 1915, 1915, about 105 years ago from this time. So they try to rebuild things in Fat San. Okay, so the so-called 1960 versions of Wing Chun today is based on that base. So this base created in Fat San, passing down, hit 1960, further evolve with Western boxing, Tai Chi, structure coming in. Okay, so that's how it is. So do they know something is wrong? Or do they know something is missing? Sure, they do know. Or else they will not try to create a platform of Wing Chun in 1915. So they do know. Okay. And of course, many things revised, namely, Xiu Lim Tao and your Chi Sao. So 1960, further evolve. And then after that, further evolve. And then in the past few decades, you know that is a mess. Okay. So past 140 years, it is like that. This is history by evidence. I don't want to name here because, again, I'm saying that we know how the technical thing evolve, but we always have to respect and we always have to value the contributions of the people who evolved that. Without them, we don't have what we have today. Okay. Now, you for sure will ask me, so what is the 3 things which is missing for the past 140 years and is missing since the Red Boat, the loss of the Red Boat uprising? 3 things. Number 1, is the body strength development. Second is the breathing, because your body strength need to support by the breathing. The third thing is the short strike uniqueness, or the short strike momentum handling. These three things is lost. So where is the evidence to see this? You check in everybody's Xiu Lim Tao and the Qi Sao today. In the version 1960s, you can see that there is no body strength training, no breathing training, and there is no short strike or tip san to inta, sticking body short strike uniqueness there. Three things. You look into the writing in around the 1880, you don't see that either. So there's how we can make sure 140 years that this thing is missing. Now, you might want to ask me further, okay, now the body strength, you know your Yi Ji Kam Ma cannot do it in dynamic to handle the momentum. But from Qi Ji Guang to Shaolin short strike, from the to the 1850s Wing Chun, you know the entire thing is clearly written there. You need that. The same thing with the breathing. If you cannot handle your breathing, you cannot do the high speed, dynamic momentum handling and exertions of your body strength. And also the short strike uniqueness, which is based on your body strength and your breathing. However, your short strike uniqueness, you need to get close, shoot in and get close. You look at the Xiu Lim Tao and the Qi Sao today, especially the Qi Sao, it cannot do the job of this three things. It cannot develop it. So you know it's missing already. Now, you're clamping your knee, you cannot do it. You have a structure. Now, structure is also, you know, structure is traveling in a different technical directions. Because dynamic handling of the momentum, the body strength, Qi Ji Guang, Shaolin short strike, and 1850 Wing Chun, it is not a structure holding stuff. So the 1850s, the Shaolin short strike, the Qi Ji Guang, the body development, the momentum development is like building a helicopter. Now we all know that helicopter is an unstable thing. Okay, if you look at the helicopter design, dynamic, unstable. Now structure become what? Structure become like a water tower. They thought that this can give them the body strength, but they travel into different directions. Not how to say that? Not realize that, and it is very big chance that it is helicopter is beyond their thinking, because they never see that before. Well, it's easy for us today. Why? Today we can have all the data. You know, you want to have all information is come up. We can question everything. Before is you just listen to your sifu. If your sifu said this, then you take this, and then if the sifu design something, you just take it and going down, and then you get the approval from your sifu, and that's what it is. Today, no, we want to see how the thing works. And you see, a water tower and a helicopter is living in a different world. Okay, so that technically we know what it is. And also, say for example, the uniqueness of the short strike, right? One of the three major things. Today, people say that the closest between 2 points, A and B, is a straight line. It's Wing Chun, right? So now ask the questions. What is B? Well, today people will say, well, B is the center line of your opponent. Correct? The ancient do not see that as B. The ancient see your opponent's opening as point B, not the, like, you face him square, his center line coming down from his head is the B. No, the ancients is defined. B is the opening, and it doesn't have to be square like between me, my center line, and I face your center line. It is an opening in your opponent's center axis. That's what the definitions be. So it is not necessary a square direct line. It can go different way. So when they look for B, they are looking for the opening of the opponent, which is the central axis or center line opening of the opponent. Is not just the center line, it's the center line, the opening in the center line. And so that's why it soft mean that you always angle in to that opening. It's not a direct, the closest between 2 points is a straight line. It's not. So it's always angle in. That is the definition of soft. Short strike is a soft art because it's angle in. And B is the opening in the center axis. It's not necessary in front of you. You just want to know. So when you face an opponent, the B is his opening or the target. Okay, the target you want to hit. Now, the second thing is like today, people talk about man sao. Wing Chun is man sao. The ancient do not do that. The ancient want to find the pathway to hitting the target. So, as what I said, that the B, now the closest between 2 points is a straight line. The A is me. B is today it is a center line, but the ancient is that target you want to hit in. That's the B. Okay. Now, it is not asking hand. It is actually wanting the pathway to shoot into that target. Because if you asking for hand, you violating General Chi Chi Guang's not tangle, not blocking, and you don't want to tangle with anything. You don't want to get yourself in trouble to try to like counter this hand with this hand, this hand with this hand, Like people throw you a punch, you say, you have to tan sao it. No, the tan sao is not for the counter or the resisting. The tan sao is to help you to get into his target, which you want to strike in. Okay. So hope that you can see that there is no tan sao. There is no cham kyu. So it is simply you face out with the opponent. Okay, you look at him, where's the opening? Which target I want? And then I found a way to go in. I'm not chasing your hand. I'm not going to blocking or dissolve your hand or play jing with your hand. I don't want to touch your hand. I just want that pathway to get in ASAP. Okay. So this is the details we know today. This is how General Qi Ji Guang Shaolin Sword Strike Wing Chun 1850 function. Today is no longer function that way. Version 1960s Wing Chun is no longer function that way. So that's why the other day when Daniel, very nice to make that video, somebody said, Daniel doesn't know the Wing Chun 1960s and he's doing MMA. Well, you know, number one, I told Daniel not to get mad because life is complex, right? And it is very difficult stuff to accept this kind of thing. However, as what I said, right? The American went to the moon. Is that a godness of the moon? The American didn't see it with Apollo 11. But the Chinese can still continuous every year have the Mooncake Festival to enjoy, to celebrate it, to remember their ancestor once upon a time, telling this beautiful legends. There's nothing wrong with that. However, on the technical side, we know what is the reality, what is a legend. The beautiful legend you can keep in your heart. And the people who tell the legend is based on his conditions, his time to tell their legends. And the mooncake, the moon goddess legend make how many people feel happy every year because of the mooncake festival and continue on for thousands of years. What did they contribute? Happiness. What is more important, right or people happy? But then human can be able to do it. We can make people happy and also be right. There's no contradiction of that. So that's why, again, I want to close to you that that's why I like this song.
感动遇见的刹那，其实雷鸣在闪烁。
So this is what I like to share with you, and hope that you think what I'm saying. Okay. Wing Chun's future is depend on everybody now. We found out more things. We can move forward, and that's not necessary to keeping I'm right, you are wrong. This is not artificial intelligence, only black or white. You can have the Mooncake Festival, and also you can build rockets. That's my message for every Wing Chuners.